Pacers 4-3 in the NBA Finals. And I speak for all four of us, including Shaun. First quarter, we see Tyrese Halliburton hit 3 threes. And in basketball, they always tell you negative steps are never good. My man took a negative step. That Achilles went the other way. And it was game over. Toddy, what were your thoughts on not only Tyrese Halliburton going down with a torn Achilles, but the Thunder winning 4-3 in Game 7?
I mean, I think we all were pretty bummed out when it happened. He started as hot as he could have for the entire series. I think he ended up leading the team in 3 pointers made for the entire game in that first quarter stretch that he had. You could just feel the energy with the Pacers kind of coming out with a lot of energy. OKC was ready to play as well. Obviously, it being a game seven, the first game seven that we had in almost 10 years since the LeBron James blocked by James 3-1 Cavs. As Kevin will probably like to let a lot of people know that that was the hardest championship ever. That's another story for another day. But I think just the game itself, I mean, when Tyrese went down, I think we all kind of knew in the back of our minds there's no way that they'll be able to win. But surprisingly so, the Pacers were able to, you know, they were winning at halftime. Like they were up at halftime. So if you had it, all my first half Pacers betters, they're like, I won me something that day. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I still walked away with a little bit of change. But hell of a season from the Pacers. I mean, if you just go back from the run that they had from them, the game winners that Tyrese Halliburton had in multiple rounds, um, obviously in the first round against Milwaukee, going up against New York, the comebacks that they had to overcome. Um, Obviously, the game winner in game one. I mean, just in itself, it was a tremendous season from the Pacers. This two now, I know this from experience, and I know we're not even 10 minutes into the show yet. But life does come at you very, very fast in the NBA. This 2 year run. Now, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Got swept. Get it. Get to the finals this year. Their star player tears their Achilles. You, a lot of things are going to start coming. Contracts, injuries, obviously, we've already seen. There's going to be there's a very, very good chance that they don't even make the playoffs next year. Not saying that that's not going to happen, but I'm saying like that's not out of the realm of possibility of what this team looks like next year. Celtics, obviously we'll get into it later, are trading a lot of their guys that were on that championship team because they need to kind of cut back cost a little bit. Um, the Pacers are the East is still wide open. You could definitely say that right now. There's a lot of parity in the NBA. I do love that. You see teams like the Pacers. The Pacers made moves to get Pascal Siakam. Magic are making moves to get Desmond Bain. The Cavs are kind of looking at it like, hey, maybe we could just keep the same team and make another run at it. The Sixers are coming out and thinking, hey, well, if Joel Embiid is still healthy, we still have Paul George, and we have the number 3 overall pick. We can still make a run. So there's just, from the Pacers side, there's a lot that needs to kind of, what are they going to do next this offseason? As far as the Thunder goes, hell of a season. I mean, Shea had one of the best seasons ever. He went scoring title, MVP, Western Conference MVP, Finals MVP. I mean, you name it. He averaged 30. Had one of the best seasons ever. Got to tip your hat off to him. Sam Presti is, a lot of people were coming at him from years ago when he made the James Harden trade. You didn't want to give him $4 million. Blah, 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 blah. We could have made it to the finals. We could have did this, that, and the third. We could have had a dynasty. 13 years later, they get back. Now, if you would have told Sam Presti, literally, when the last time we went to the finals, hey, you'll be back in 13 years, that he would probably, he probably would take that bet and say, maybe we might have a chance. But drafting guys like J-Dub, drafting guys like Chet Holmgren, getting guys like Hartenstein in the offseason, keep developing guys like Casey Wallace, Aaron Wiggins, getting Alex Caruso. I think that was last summer. That was, and a lot of people were like, it's a mid trade. That's what it was kind of assumed as back then. Like people weren't really jumping down other people's throats for that trade. And I think now you're looking at it like, wow, OKC got the best part of this, best part of the deal. They won a title. And now you're looking at it as literally the draft is tomorrow. And you're already hearing reports that OKC is trying to move up into the top 10 of the draft. Like this, where is the top 10 player? What is the number 10 pick? Let's just say they get 10th. What does that pick look like? Are they're not going to play? Where's the minutes? There's no minutes on this team currently constructed. And you are going to have some contracts coming up. Like Chet's going to be looking like, hey, my hand's going to be out. There's a couple guys going to have their hands out. And OKC's going to be like, hey, we're comfortable of the core group of guys that we have, that we just move pieces around them, get defensive-minded guys around this core group of guys that we have. Can't nobody beat us. That's how they feel right now. And I do think moving forward, OKC is going to be that team that can be aggressive because they got a bunch of picks in their back pocket for the next couple of years. So both of these teams, I feel like, are moving in different directions, and they just made the finals. So draft is tomorrow. OKC, don't be surprised if they try to make an aggressive move after they just popped champagne at the parade. Did you see Chet? Did you see Chet with the trophy?
That boy, they were going nuts.
So I thought it was cool for OKC. Obviously, it's their first championship. I mean, we're gonna hear, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander the best OKC player? He's gonna get a statue. I don't know when. It's a question of when, not if. He's gonna get a statue. So, I'm surprised Toronto hasn't given Kawhi a statue, but he wasn't like drafted and all that. Like Shai's been there longer than Kawhi. Kawhi was there for an hour, won a championship, and dipped. But OKC, I think statues coming. So you could TikTok clip me or whatever. Statues on the way.
Yeah. And like Toddy mentioned, this team has no room for lottery picks. They had a lottery pick that won a championship in Nikola Topic and played 0 minutes. He tore his ACL before the draft. He won a championship, and the funniest thing that I saw was Chris Paul played so many games, so many minutes, and hasn't won a ring. And this dude hasn't shot the ball one time, and he has an NBA championship. So I thought that was pretty funny. Alex, what were your thoughts on the Oklahoma City Thunder winning the finals? I want everybody to know Alex originally picked them in 6. Game 7, she started backpedaling and chose the Pacers to win it all. So what went into you choosing the Pacers, Alex, and then what were your overall thoughts on the game?
Okay, so before I get to that, the statue piece, I think you have to win multiple championships for a statue. Not multiple championships, but you have to be there for a particularly
this is their first
long period of time.
Ever.
I understand it's their first, but like you have to be kind of like almost homegrown, or you have to. There's like a different level. Just because he's MVP and just won their first ever, don't get me wrong. Well, they're not first ever, but since OKC, since they moved, I just because anyway, moving on. I did pick OKC in 6 because statistically, and if you look at the overall season of the Oklahoma City Thunder, they should have won at 5. But the Pacers got heart, man. And I fell into it. I fell into the train, and I think it was after game 3. I was like, oh, the Pacers are gonna do it. And they're the underdogs. Everyone doubted them. You know, Tyrese Halliburton was Mr. Overrated. You know what I mean? And he wasn't picked as an all-star, but yet he's leading his team through all these crazy comebacks in the playoff. And I think, like, looking at their playoff run as a whole, I was like, they have to cap it off. And I truly thought if Tyrese Halliburton did not tear his Achilles, they would have won. They would have won. But you know what? It is a big what if, and I'm not taking discredit from OKC winning, because overall, from game 1 in October to game whatever this is for them in June, they have been the best team in the association. So I'm fine with flip-flopping because I fell into the hype. Now, for the Pacers, obviously this sucks. I'm interested to see if they're going to keep Miles Turner or not. They probably should, but who knows? Jared Jackson, they could just trade him there and get Jared Jackson and flip-flop it that way. But anyway, I'm interested to see what they do in free agency, knowing that their whole offense is kind of orchestrated through Halliburton, and now that he's not going to be there, kind of sucks. And shout out to him for still playing through that calf strain, knowing there's a high likelihood of him tearing his Achilles, and knowing you don't know how that's going to affect your career. That takes some balls, and I appreciate him going out like that. He was going to drop a 40 piece. But anyway, OKC side, they won. Kudos to them. Don't think they're going to make any dramatic moves because they could just run this team back next year. I think after next year they need to make some moves because I think that's when all the contracts go in to play, and that's when like money and second apron, and for a small market team like Oklahoma, I don't think they want to be over that second apron and pay all that in luxury tax. So I think they're probably since 2019 there's been 7 different champions. I think they have the best likelihood of repeating or at least getting another one within the next 5 years. Out of everyone else, which says a lot because there's Jokic and the Nuggets, and like wherever Giannis ends up, you still have Jason Tatum if he comes back as the player he is, or even better. So yeah, I think the East is wide open. I'm interested to see how the Magic kind of make a run. The Knicks need to be the Eastern Conference champions next year. If they are not, then I don't want to hear anything from the Knicks fans for the next 15 years. So yeah.
15 years is a long time of nothing.
This is it. This is their window. They should trade it all for Giannis and just it's right there.
Who was traded all?
Cat and probably Mikal Bridges.
Cat Bridges. They already don't have a bench, so I would assume that they would give up a lot to try and get him.
They would, especially after they gave. I mean, the Suns gave up a lot for KD. Not the Suns.
Everything.
Sorry, the Rockets. I thought a little too much, but I mean, look at Desmond Bane and what the Magic gave up. My goodness, I don't know what is up with all these first round picks, but the Luka Doncic trade doesn't get any. So,
but unfortunately, the Pacers did lose. They were on. We all had to talk about. We're gonna remember this run as coming back from 15, coming back from 20. Tyrese Halliburton hitting all these crazy shots. They almost joined a unique group. There have been 3 teams over the past 20 years to win Game 6 down 3-2. We have the 2010 Lakers, the 2013 Heat, and the 2016 Cavs. All 3 of those teams came back to win in 7. Unfortunately, the Pacers weren't able to do that. For the rest of eternity, we're going to hear, well, if Tyrese didn't go down, if this didn't happen. Just like, hey, I was the guy last year who said, Tony, the only reason you're holding a banner is because Donovan Mitchell got hurt. Tyrese Halliburton got hurt last year. Hey, Jalen Brunson doesn't break his hand, do the Celtics win? We can play that game all day. So let's sit here and let's talk about this.
But it's not in a game. It's not in a Game 7 of the NBA Finals, though. Like I understand.
Jalen Brunson got hurt Game 7 of the ECF.
No, I understand that. But they didn't. But it wasn't like a must win. Like they're hanging the trophy above half court, and it's like, hey, like whoever reaches it first gets it. It's the type of. I understand, like in the other rounds, we could always say that, oh, Steph Curry and his hamstring and all of that, right? But in a Game 7, he's on he's what, 3 of 4 from 3-point range in the first 5 minutes of the game. Like that is different than, oh, Jalen Brunson broke his hand in Game 7 of the second round. You know what I mean? Like that. This is the NBA Finals Game 7. Like this is built different.
I agree, but we can only talk about the facts. The facts are,
yep, that's true.
Lee had the most blocks in an NBA Finals game with 5 blocks. I came in here before we get our predictions and said J-Dub and Chet have to show up. We all know SGA is going to come in here and he's a walking 30 ball. If these other two guys come to play, the Thunder are going to win. And that's what J-Dub did. Besides game one, went on an absolute tear. He is the first guy since Kobe Bryant to have an all-star season, all-NBA season, all-defensive season, and win an NBA Finals. He averaged 24 points and 6 rebounds. That is more than the last year's NBA Finals MVP. But we don't have to get there. I was told I was crazy for taking Jalen Williams over Jaylen Brown. Alex, you missed it last week. Toddy said, of course you are. But, numbers speak louder than opinions. SGA.
Took him 7 games to do it.
You said what?
Took him 7 games to do it.
That's true.
Hey, brother, we all can't play Luka Doncic on defense. We saw but moving on. SGA at 26 years old, NBA champion, MVP, Finals MVP, WCF MVP, 3-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA, and a scoring champ. He joins a list of only 4 people to win a scoring title, an MVP, and an NBA title in the same season. Shaq, Kareem, Michael Jordan did it twice, and now Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This team is on a historic run. We haven't seen a team like this since the Chicago Bulls. There have not been a team to win 84-plus games and win a championship since the 95-96 Bulls, the 96-97 Bulls, and the 2024-2025 Oklahoma City Thunder. This team is on track to put a dynasty together. We always talked about last year, could the Celtics do it? Injuries coming into play, A, B, C, and D. What we saw from dynasties growing up, right, with the Spurs, with the Lakers, you have your core guys. And the Thunder or the Spurs team that had their first part of the dynasty with David Robinson and a young Kawhi look different. Those two guys are completely different sides of the run. Being able to supply your guys with the right core players goes a long way. We say, like Toddy mentioned it, the money's going to have to come now. I am one to believe that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to say, I'll take a pay cut. I'm going to be the richest player in NBA history regardless.
Exactly.
Let me take a pay cut. The Thunder are going to get blessed and not hit the second April because Chet got hurt his whole first year and missed half of this year. Because if Chet doesn't miss all his rookie year and half of this season, he's arguably on a defensive team. I don't know about an all-star, but he's arguably on an all-defensive team. So then the money just doubles. We saw Jalen Williams all-star, all-NBA, all-defensive team. So he is getting the rookie max. Chet doesn't get the rookie max because he doesn't have the accolades to go along with it. But if he were to have played a full 2 seasons, who knows? Maybe we're looking at him like we are J-Dub. So it's going to be a lot for them to figure it out. They have a lot of first-round picks. Toddy mentioned it. They're already shopping for a top 10 pick. Who could they get is really interesting. But championship teams really have core guys. And those core guys, as you can say, SGA, J-Dub, but a lot of reasons that they're here and why they weren't here last year are for 2 guys, and that is Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso. Like Toddy said, we saw these trades, we saw these signs, we're like, it's Alex Caruso, it's Isaiah Hartenstein. Alex Caruso is on a unique list, and I would love to see if you guys could name these other 2 players. There have been 3 players to win 2 championships in the 2020s. Can you name the other 2? Obviously, Alex Caruso is one.
I saw this list too, and I forgot who was on it. I saw it earlier. 2020s.
I'll give you a
weird list too.
Nah, the hint's too easy. Let me see if you guys get some guesses first.
I have no clue.
Alex, when I tell you, you're gonna be mad that you didn't guess.
Is it Tori? No, it's not. Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday is
Drew
one.
Holiday was one.
So it's Drew Holiday, Alex Caruso, and there's one more player.
It's like a random player.
He's not random.
He's not random.
He was literally relevant last episode.
Steph Curry? No, it's not Steph Curry.
Wait, don't tell me. Hold on.
Michael Jordan?
I'll give you a hint. He just got traded.
Kristaps Porzingis?
Not Porzingis? No.
You guys, when did he win another one?
I know. But you just said Drew Holiday. That was right. But
Are you guys done guessing?
No, hold on.
I said Luka.
KCP.
Yes, KCP is the third. So KCP, Drew Holiday, and Alex Caruso are the 3 people to win 2 championships in the 2020 era.
Pretty random.